Today on Newsbreak, it's the shocking state of the nation now. It is clear for all to see our nation in deplorable condition. Ghanaians continue to wonder, how did we get to this point?
Wait, doesn't Ghana belong to all of us?
And not some few individuals.
You just read my mind.
Why must someone come and spoil all that has been built for over 60 years and we still need to build it again?
It's all because of the future of our children and their children. Building the Ghana we all want together.
Alright. Now this is the composition of the police council in Ghana. The vice president is a party man. It doesn't matter whether it's MPP or NDC. This is what we have given us and this is what we work with. Now, the minister responsible for internal affairs, who is he? He's a party man. The police appointed by the president. The president can dismiss him at any point in time, and therefore his loyalty is partial. It doesn't matter whether he was appointed by MPP or NDC. His loyalty is divided. Because he can be appointed today and dismissed tomorrow. And the worst scenario is when he is appointed to be acting capacity. It means I'm watching you. That is what it means. Now, the Attorney General is a party man. Then you have a lawyer nominated that one maybe, a representative of police, very well. 2 members of the police service appointed by the president. So who is that? Those people. One they are appointed by the president. You know where they are coming from. Then 2 other members appointed by the president. So the whole composition of the police council is the president. And it's a party. Why will you give us this and think that we should be professional? You cannot. There's no way you can have a professional police service. It is party politics. And that is why we have become a chess in the hands of the government. Whether it's MPP or NDC, we are chess in their hands. And they are playing political games here. That is why no party in opposition can trust the government, can trust the police. Because of what you do with us. And so once you move into opposition, you are scared that the same thing you do with us, the other party will do with us. So there is a need for constitutional amendment. And I propose that if we really want a long-term solution to this vigilante, one major thing is that the president must be appointed for a fixed. The IGP must be appointed for a fixed term with approval of Parliament to exercise independent control. There's a need for an independent police service commission to replace the current police council. And grounds upon which an IGP can be removed should be spelled out so that the IGP's removal from office cannot be based on the whims and caprices of appointing authority. That the Minister of Interior can only give directives to the IGP in writing on matters of policy, but not as to how the IGP must do his work. This will make the police loyal to the Constitution instead of particular government.
First of the election before the first time was that there was a fear syndrome in Ghana, and part of the fear syndrome was that people thought that we had a security system that was not, across board, we favored a particular class of people in office who were too big to be touched, and therefore the tenet of rule of law that we are equal before the law was not tenable. And also we had a professionalism at the time that we were not training people adequately, we were not equipping them, and that's what we sought out to deal with. And therefore, as far as I'm concerned, we've made a lot of progress along that line, and we've had a police system now that is professional, that will arrest you whether you are MP, whether you are minister. When you commit an offense, you are arrested and you are dealt with. And above all, they will arrest you if you are a policeman or policewoman. They will deal with you. And now, under this dispensation, you realize that we've made the right to demonstrate, a real right. Because all the time I used to say that when you want to demonstrate the function of the police, is to make it safe for you to demonstrate, that you demonstrating are protected, and those who are also a demonstration are also protected. I think you've watched progressively how the police have managed demonstrations up to now. I think we can be proud of Ghana's record. The last time that there were injuries, 15 injuries, they were all police. 10 police men and 5 police women. I was at the control bridge and listening to the commands that were being given. This person is down. And they say, yes, it's down, but no lethal use. Stick to your order. Hold yourselves. Second is down, third is down, 15 are down. But I think that since then, you can realize that we allow people to demonstrate and go to the work. Now, I think that we've come a long way, haven't we? At a certain stage, people were thinking that, oh, we couldn't trust the police. But now you see, you feel the presence of police. And I think the last election that came, at least our friends on the other side said they have confidence in the police and have confidence in the EC. I think we're making progress, are we not? And so that's how I see it. But as far as the IGP is concerned, he's for operational matters, and I haven't found anything that he's done that has contradicted that. What we are still doing is we are expanding the police, presence countrywide. Beginning of second, when we came in, it was 43% coverage. Now we are moving forward. We are creating more divisions, creating more with the approval of the police council, and we are equipping them. But just one thing, my dear members of the media, it seems to me, we know that there are challenges in this country about land guards. We know that. We used to say we're shying away from it. We are confronting it. And now there are issues. When the police go out and there is any problem, the police itself investigates itself and seeks to make sure that all who went on operation did the right thing. We are working on body cams which will let us know exactly what each policeman has done because of police accountability. And yet, when we go and have that, the next thing you say is investigation. 2 weeks later, the police is killed. No investigation. At least let's be generally balanced. We are going to investigate in each case and let the police do their work. I am confident.
Yeah. Council, it's interesting you talk about the land gas issue.
The police are professional. They go into an operation, and if you don't attack them, they don't return fire. Several occasions, we've had police have gone to a place and disarmed people without firing a gunshot. But when we move into a place and you fire at the police first, the police will take all the precautions and fire as is permitted within the law. We cannot allow this country to be run by armed bandits. If we did that, then we've lost it. So, but the police do not kill recklessly. They don't. And like I said, we investigate every case to make sure that things are done properly. So,
finally, won't you
be responsible for that audio needs to be investigated and called out if it turns out that yes, indeed, he's the one who is behind the audio. He needs to be dealt with. Is not above the law. He must be dealt with, interdicted. That is what we're expecting to hear, put before an investigative body. And if it is established that he is the one who uttered those words, and all those who were involved, there's one alleged. Who is that? They must establish his identity and prefer charges if it is established that they are the ones who actually sat down to plot such an evil agenda against the sovereign will of the people.
Ambrose Zari says Dampare is not going anywhere. He's happy with his performance. That's to put matters to rest.
Well, let me make it absolutely clear that this government is not going to temper with 2024 election. Number one, our president does not want to stay 1 more hour beyond his tenure. No. Number two, we are making sure that we have free and fair elections. You have been in this country and you've had several by-elections. The by-elections under this system are the most peaceful by-elections that we've had. I had to go to Chiriponi, where people were shot in the head. And we said, went to Atiwa, Talensi, where they were throwing stones. But now you go to a by-election, and everybody relaxed. People are allowed to go about voting peacefully. And I am saying that those who did not believe in the system now believe that they can count on the police in 2024. Haven't they said that? Yeah. They have said that, and rightly so. And so, as far as I'm concerned, we voted, and I'm also happy that at last they have said that the EC did a good job, because I can assure you that this country would not allow anybody to be killed or shot because of vote at all. One thing is certain: 2024 would not be a violent election by anybody, and no one will want to thwart the will of the people. If you vote us in, you vote us in. If you vote outside, you vote out. The difference with which we handed over power in 2009 was so impressive that the then president of the US came here. I was then a member of Pan-African Parliament, and we went to Iso Rock in October of 2012. And then Goodluck said, you are a member of Parliament. Which side are you? I said, minority. He said, Ghanaians. How much do you lose the vote by? He said, it's not possible anywhere. But we took it here. We led the first round, second round. We lost by the thinnest margin. We handed over. Thank you. And anytime we don't agree, we go to court. When the judgment comes, we accept it. And we congratulate people. We are still waiting for congratulations, are we not?
And all those who were involved, there's one alleged. Who is that? They must establish his identity and prefer charges if it is established that they are the ones who actually sat down to plot such an evil agenda against the sovereign will of the people. The very survival of our democracy is dependent upon how transparent our national elections are. And so if there is an attempt to rig and to undermine the sovereign will of the people, well, that should be, a matter that should be treated with a certain degree of seriousness. You don't just sweep these things under the carpet. This audio must be thoroughly investigated, and I was expecting that the minister would have spoken, and given us the assurance that they are going. By now, Alex Maase should have even been invited, interdict.
Live on TV as well as also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana. Inside politics near the April on Thursday, the 13th of July, 2023, in the year of our Lord Midi, at the Mugabe Maase Betimi Afreme, at our colleague bigger with 900 million angels, and then somebody, and of course, so our Rashabeji na standing on the song, Sam, and Yamanyama, Ebobaba, Efa, a year re, who Sam, Ninano, Bill no, Aquaquis. Say who sim nyina ye de bro ene Tema oil refinery dwaneti aka ne to and somebody na ekoso ewo ho ya minority asoye no the oil in charge of a ranking member on mines and energy committee munya for John Jinapo and somebody no so work e Ghana for ene enyume on Power 97.9 FM so on TV SYZ Facebook Live TV SYZ Ghana Power 979 and also on YouTube. SYZ broadcasting. Medium at the Mugabe Maase Sadaka Sebeko, the ama Big Ben tablet. Omadawro ma bema waya mre wo pemuno. You make come from on say a dry memo juma. Ma memejino muna sobrani. 3 points robejino a Big Ben tablets. Power specialist about hospital so at chidende Samson Spanish garlic mesa and the capsules for the Spanish ginkgo capsules. API and enyume. Womunina na Dr. Amuzu about clinic and so ekahubia. Obwa and yesu kwenya ya wada enyumre. July ayekuta wasabo so mene da to so dumiansa e wo mfimpimi no ene aduonu miensem. Ensem no emu ehye na eneyi yebesi nkonya. Yesi nkonya abrabo eyenunum pepepa. Eyenua Nicholas and the production team no ya solid bibia de dana kwam. What the list we nana kwesi poku na amaye na awie. Sanso na Alhaji Naziru Muhammad omo ena nei yenu omo ebedi nkomo. Nyame adem ochina eye honorable Eric Opoku obaba ba na statistics nsema ekoso inflation rate ne ne yekeka wo GDP sai and oman economy ne esiko Honorable Eric Puku nyame admo china on na eba at exactly 4:30 pepe ne asentem ewo TVS was ne power 979 nkomotwetwe no echeso ye hyase ane ye hyase e de afri eye mrase begefie enedai na chese enye asemketu akra minority omo mrase begefie no omu demand sa aban no reopen procurement process said be omo best select a strategic partner the omo tumi ahwenu ma revamp Tema oil refinery trying to can it all minority question omo proposal and say omo hwe eye company ya ye friend say Torrent company ene nsema ewo wo mu na ho be nya so mo be biem said be ya Tema oil refinery betumi afa ne tuma pa biem na tumi asan afa afra na o my Ghana etumi agina na so yipa Honorable John Jinapo a member of parliament for a year ya Pekusugo in the Savannah region of the Republic of Ghana one is a chief for Shiamo ewo mrase begefie ene yetie ensema odi tudwa ansana yede de aka ato amoso.
We've been following keenly developments at the Tema oil refinery. We have become aware of attempts by the Akufo-Addo government to lease the Tema oil refinery for a 6-year period to a company known as Torrent Asset Management Company. Our checks has indicated that this company has no track record when it comes to oil refinery. It has no track record when it comes to the oil sector. And its balance sheet does suggest that it cannot provide the needed support for the Tema oil refinery. The Tema oil refinery is a strategic asset. It's the only state refinery capable of refining about 45,000 barrels of oil a day. If Tema oil refinery is well positioned and strategically positioned, it would result in millions, if not billions, of savings when it comes to import substitution. Unfortunately, the Akufo-Addo-led government has been sleeping on the job and has left the refinery to rot. Having failed to continue with the progress made under Mahama-led administration, they have decided to lease the Tema oil refinery to Torrent Asset Management. And if you read the details of the contract, they are supposed to refine just about 8 million barrels. That is woefully inadequate. We believe that that contract is inimical. That contract will not inure to the benefit of the country. That contract will not benefit the ordinary Ghanaian. That contract does not meet value for money. We are therefore calling on the Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led government to put a halt to this lease agreement, engage further with stakeholders, and ensure that we find a long-lasting solution to the problems confronting TOR. These firefighting approaches will not help the refinery. The refinery alone has seen about 5 different managements under the Akufo-Addo-led administration. It does appear that they are playing with the refinery. It does appear that there is no seriousness being shown when it comes to the management and revitalization of the refinery. And so we call on government to immediately halt this lease agreement and ensure that we go through a transparent process. We go through a process that gives everybody a fair playing field, equal opportunity.